Okay, guys, so we're going to try to do this install on a VirtualBox. Kind of see what we've got here. We're going to go for the big one here, so the 305 megabit one. We'll click on download. Now the thing is, I want you to log in or sign up for Oracle, but no, you don't need that. You do not want that. We'll just go, no thanks, start my download. You click on that one and it will download into your downloads directory here. So we'll just go ahead and we'll pick this guy out and kind of see where we come up with. We'll go yes, install. And we want server only. I'll install MySQL server client. We don't want that. The full install sometimes can go wrong. So we'll just do the server only. Installs only the MySQL server when you want to deploy MySQL, but not developing MySQL server applications. So we're just going to pick this one and kind of go from there. So we want that have failed requirements. We'll attempt to resolve them automatically. So we'll click on that requirement. Yep. So we'll execute that. So we'll install. I don't want any kind of notifications. Yep, I agree to the terms. So we'll install and go from there. And we'll go close. So we'll check. All right. Oh, that worked. Let's check something here. If we go back, we go to full. I wonder if we can do this from here. If we do full, right, and we go here, we'll pick all the products, right, ready to install. There you go. Execute. Installing. See what we got here. Ooh, kind of cool. If it will actually install all the stuff. So what it really wanted was the that thing. All right, so partial install the redistributable, and then go back to and do the full install and see what we got. Let us see what we have here. Then we can actually go to show details, and it will actually walk you through and show all the stuff that it's doing, validating install, and then so we got our workbench, our shell. We're probably not going to use the router. We're probably not going to use the documentation either, but just kind of fun with it. See what we got. If I need to download MySQL Workbench separately, that's fine as well. So kind of just go from there. It's going to take a minute. Oh, goodness. Good times. See what we got cooking. There we go. That's a ton of stuff. Oh my goodness, man. So I just kind of let that thing go do its thing right now. Sometimes you have to just stand up and walk away from the installation and kind of see what you've got cooking and go from there. So if you're like into social media or you just want to listen to some music or something else, this is going to take a minute. I don't know what it's doing for MySQL shell. But that's just funny. That is just crazy stuff. I think we're going to hide those details because that's like kind of obnoxious. All right, we'll let it kind of do its thing. Alrighty, so as we wait for this thing to go do its stuff, if you've already done the install, that's also fine too. This is just kind of walking everybody through it, so everyone's just kind of surprised on this one. Kind of see where it goes. There we go. All right, there we go. Oh, that's much better. All right, so we're good. All right, so we got this config. You can do this. I'm just going to do this as a development computer. All the other applications on it. For this one, if a dedicated computer, that will just consume all the resources it can. So that was saying a server computer running on a computer, choose the option for web or application servers. We're just going to go with development computer, TCP IP. The default port, 3306. X protocol, open Windows firewall ports for network. We're not going to do any named pipes or anything else like that. So that all looks good. Use a strong password and authentication. Sure, we can do that. So we're going to pick a password. You need to remember this password, right, for what you've got here. So I'm going to go pick a normal password that I would use for this kind of thing. So scooch the microphone over a little bit. So let's see what we got here. You need to remember this name, this one. If you forget this, it can be kind of problematic. Medium. Okay, that works. And that will work. We're going to go from there. We're not going to add a user. We're just going to work off the root account. This is not recommended, by the way. But I'm going to be kind of lazy. And we're going to work off the root password for this one. Windows Service, MySQL, start the service at system startup. Perfect. Standard service account. Perfect. Again, we're not going to be doing anything super special here. full access to anyone. Perfect. I'm good with that. And then configuration steps, execute, see what it does. Initialize a database. This is going to take a minute or 3. So if you are into cats, it's time to cross on over to media and go from there. Ooh, that was quick. Darn, I was going to go look at some cats. Go next. We're not going to use this one, so we'll just finish and go from there. We should be good to go. Username, root, and password. So we got to go ahead and do our password thing that we just got done setting up, right? Now we'll check. Connection successful. That's the big one. Make sure that's good to go. And go next. Execute. And then finish. And go next. We're good. Copy log to clipboard. All right, we'll just finish. Start MySQL Workbench as well. All right, so there's our shell, so that works. And there's MySQL Workbench. So we did all install, so we're good here. So that would be MySQL Workbench. So we didn't need to separately install it, and that's happy. All right, so I'm going to try to move this thing around a little bit. Wow, man, talk about fussy. All right, local instance and our password, right? Go OK. Save password in Vault so I don't have to do this again. All right, again, we're just doing a lot of things that we probably shouldn't be doing. All right, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to minimize that. And let's see if it will let me move this around a little bit. OK, so here's where we go. We want to go back to our Murrock book here. So when you log in to your system, you get a lot of information here. So this is your query area. This is where you ask it to do questions. This is where you'd put in all your code and everything else. And you can kind of slide that window over if you want the context help or not. You can also get snippets. So this is your main window. This is where you're going to drop all of your stuff. If you go to management, you can get the server status. You can see that it's all working and that everything's good to go. You can see how many other people are connected, what kind of server and privileges of anybody else. There shouldn't be anybody else on this. Data export, if you want to export all your data, import, and all the rest of it. Instance, you can start or stop this whole thing, and then performance and all the rest of it. So this is just the administration dashboard, right? If you go to schemas, this is where you see all of your databases. So this is your database itself. So Scala, whatever that is, world, it's probably a defunct or default kind of thing where you see city, county languages. So just kind of basically a default password or kind of thing. So you can export all that kind of data if you want. But these are your databases, right? So what I would do is I would go here and just go to server status. That way you can stay here. Then go to schemas, right? And kind of go from there. So you can see all of your databases. Now the big thing here, right, is you can actually create a new schema. You can go ahead and open the inspector for the object, open an SQL script and a new query tab. Now remember the query 1, right? You're here, administration, server status. So you can move around these tabs. So we're going to go to our book here, and we're going to go create DB, all right, or we're going to go create my Guitar Shop one. So I like this one. So we're going to copy this raw file, right, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to paste that raw file. All right, so there you go. So you have all of your data in here then. So create and select a database, right? So remember, copy, right, and then right-click, paste. Right, to just go from there. So drop database if it exists, so we're not going to do that. It doesn't exist, so we're good here. And then creates all of the tables, right? So that's all it's going to do is just create your products table, your orders table, and then drop some data into it and go from there. If it comes up with this, right, this may error out. Grant select insert. So these are just privileges for these users. We don't have these users. So let's see what happens if it errors out first. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to run it. So if we're going to run it, right, we're going to go execute the selected portion of the script. All right, and everything if there's no selection. So we do the little lightning bolt here. And then we should see create table, categories, when warnings, enter to display. Oh, it's all deprecated. Yeah, so we're using a modern version of the whole thing. Grant insert select. Yeah, you don't have an error in your SQL syntax. Let's see what we got here. So these are going to be the ones. So we'll just take those out because I don't want to have to deal with it. All right, let's see what we got. All right, so we've got that. Let's see if I have a database now. Let's go ahead and see if I have that database. And you want to refresh all. All right, there's my Guitar Shop one. So remember, right-click, right, refresh all, and you've got it. So it should have all your tables, categories, orders, products. Pretty small thing. It's not pretty big. You'll be doing some views later, some stored procedures and functions, and that's it. So when you're done here, right? You can just go ahead and go ahead and select all, and then go ahead and remove. Go and do delete. And then let's go ahead and do this here. So we want to see if we have stuff in our database that's actually working the way we want it to work. So let's go select everything from categories. Right? And that's all we got to do. And let's go ahead and hit our little button. And we should see guitars, basses, drums, and all the rest of it. So that's it. You have now successfully installed and checked your whole thing. And again, the idea is just to make this easy is to just do this one. My Guitar Shop 1 is fine. You can also do My Guitar Shop 2. This has a little bit more information in it. So if we wanted to do this one, let's go ahead and do this one just so we've got it, right? So we'll do this. We'll go ahead and we'll clear this out, right? And then we'll do My Guitar Shop 2. Go copy, right, the file. And then we'll go paste that whole file. And we should have... yeah, we're going to have the same problem because we don't have this user, right? You'll actually create users later on in the process when you do this. And then so we'll just go ahead and do that. So there's some other users. So we'll go and collect and set that up. Right, and that ran. We're good to go. That actually ran without any errors, so that may be the one to do. Refresh all. And then you've got My Guitar Shop 2, tables. And then let's go ahead and go Command A, clear all that stuff out. And then let's go select star, wow, home row, huh? Star from addresses. And then we just run it by clicking the little thunderbolt, and there should be all of our addresses. And that's it. That is exactly how to install, run, and set everything up for My Guitar Shop. So this took 11 minutes. So hopefully this was a good way of getting you to go. But again, it's just easier to use these. And then just remember when you install to just refresh all so you can see which your databases are now and everything else. So what I would do, right, is, just make sure you got your download, but I would just have it install everything. That's kind of a neat change. So there you go. All right, folks, that's got it. We're happy. Give me a shout if you need anything else.